So welcome to the BTS Creative Academy podcast. We're here at the Romford Film Festival, where you've brought your film to showcase it at the festival. I saw the trailer earlier today. I haven't seen the film yet, but it seems to me it's a film that asks a lot of questions. Coming of age story, I guess. Yes?
Absolutely,
Yeah. So guys, tell me about yourselves. Who are you and what was your role within the film?
I'm Holger Borggrefe. I co-wrote the film and I directed it, and in a way I co-produced it.
Yeah, and I'm Basti Schwarz, and I'm the producer of the film.
And so why this movie? Why did you come up with this idea? What was the message behind that?
Okay, it's an independent movie, therefore we were free to tell what we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's about a guy who promises his best mate at its grave at the age of 19 to say, "I'm going to fall in love once and for real," and he fails. And the story expands over 20 years, seeing him failing at all his dates and his relationships and so on. And I think, in a way, it's like saying maybe in a relationship. And you say maybe in a relationship, and you're not committing in a way. You might be better at living your life, and that's what the film is about. It's like it's always like rewind. I try it again. Rewind. I try it again. Now I have a woman and a kid, and I rewind. I want to fall in love. Really, this time it's going to work. And I think that's quite good, because so often in life you think, now, that's it. Here we are, showdown, happy ending, and it's going like this for the rest of my life, and it doesn't work.
Where did this story come from? Is there an element of your own personal experience that's come into this?
There are 4 women in it, and 2 are really from, I think at least 2, or let's say 2.5 are real relationships, or women I got to know when I was younger. Yes, that was the inspiration. And the other nice bit was that my writer, Elena Jansen, she made her A-levels in 2001, and that's the point when the film starts. And it ends at COVID in 2021.
Is there a reason for it ending at that point?
We had the feeling it's good to show how different things change. Like in the beginning, it says, "I never going to buy a mobile," things like that. But okay, later on, he does sort of speed dating. COVID, there's the most important catastrophe of his life happens during that time, when he's not able to meet people and is sort of really is isolated in his life. And that was quite nice for the ending.
As a producer, what drew you to this film? What was attractive about it when you I guess you saw the script quite early on, and something pulled you in to be a part of this? What was that?
Well, I guess it was the challenge that we showed a story of 20 years. So 4 different episodes, 4 different styles, 4 different designs. So I was quite happy for the set dressers, for the costume designers, to have a challenge on it. And that was quite interesting to have 2001, and at the end COVID, and so many different styles. And
did there seem some kind of like something new that you was doing creatively within this film? Did it feel like you was breaking any kind of new ground?
So I would say the special thing about this movie is that it was produced within a seminar for mostly unemployed filmmakers.
Right,
or young filmmakers, or sometimes people who just want to try out a new job, but mostly unemployed filmmakers.
Okay.
So usually during the winter months, there are not that many productions, not that many film productions, not that many film jobs, and then unemployed filmmakers, they can come to our institute, you can call it an art club,
Right, okay.
and they can apply for a seminar where they get teachings from professionals from the industry over 3 months. And at the end of the seminar, they do a practical project, which is this movie.
Right.
And there they can try out one job higher than they used to work. So if you're, for example, used to work as an assistant, you can try out the head of position without that much risk, without that much responsibilities, and it's still guided by professionals. And I guess that's the special thing. So
Yes, it does sound really special. It sounds like you're trying to give opportunities to people that they wouldn't necessarily have out there in the normal world.
Yeah.
And so why are you doing that?
I mean, it's a part of my job because I'm working for this institute. But on the other hand, it was really for me like I could go back to filmmaking because I directed. I come from a film school. I directed a little, then I went back to teaching, and this worked out. And it's the second project. The first one was quite successful as an independent film for the film itself. It won some awards. It was played at the Brooklyn Film Festival, and it was also good for the people who worked on it, who got better jobs. And with the second film, it worked out similarly. Although I must say, this is the second festival. I don't know what's the way. There are going to be other festivals. But with the last thing, we did find a distributor for VOD worldwide at the Festival of Cinema NYC. Then that was quite good because they had this film like, okay, we see how it's going to go onto the platforms, and and the last film was a tough drama, a triangle relationship, tragic triangle relationship, and this was small, sort of a comedy, and it's good because it's all about love. It's sort of meant to be the second part of a trilogy. Next time it's going to be a love between father and daughter, which is not erotically, but okay, there's a father-daughter conflict. That's the next one. I think it was good because when you have a sort of artistic perspective of the project, it's better because the people who are working on that, even if it's like part of a course, they say, okay, there is a vision, and we'd like to work for this vision and make it a good film. And working with Basti was good because Basti comes from a small town, and this is a sort of small town film because this guy always wants to become an artist and get out of this town, and he doesn't succeed. And it's sort of nice, really nice small town, cafes and stuff. It's a kind of town you don't leave because it's nice. And therefore you don't get out of this situation. And it was good because when we used one street, which was sort of timeless, what you can place at like say 1950s, but also 2001, 2020, we just changed the car or the two cars we used, and it was always on that street where most of the film happened.
So did you find, Sebastian, something that resonated with you from your own personal life with this film then?
I would rather say it's the other way around. So I come from a village next to a small little Bavarian town. And yeah, Holger wrote a script about a small Bavarian town.
Yes, yeah.
And yeah, luckily I have a lot of connections there. So it was the other way around. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But it was also good because you could do some of the filming in the garden of your parents, a big party scene, and all of your friends happen to be there. Hopefully you still have friends after doing this in March, in cold March for 3 or 4 days in a row.
When it's possible, I really like to shoot around my hometown because I don't know how it's here in London, but in Munich, where we're placed, where the institute is, people are not. They are sometimes a bit bored of film productions because Munich is a film industry city. Sometimes they're even annoyed by filmmakers, by film productions because streets are blocked or whatever.
Yes, yeah.
So if you ask for favors or for discounts in Munich, because of a film production of an independent film, no one will react.
Yes,
But in my hometown, if I ask anybody if they can help me or do me a
there's an
favor,
excitement of please,
yeah, it's very wide. Everybody, yeah, sure, Hollywood, right? Yeah, I love shooting there. People are very helpful.
I get the impression with this institute that you're part of. What's the name of this institute?
It's Werkmünchen, right?
Yeah. It's Theater Werkmünchen, Theater Werkmünchen, like one word, theater, like theater, and Werkmünchen, it's like workplace Munich, something like that. Or factory Munich.
And is there a purpose to the institute? Is there like a motto for what you're trying to achieve for the individuals there?
Get work. Get work, keep training, because mostly I do filmmaking courses. The other things we do is like training for opera singers and actors on stage. And the motto is really like, keep training, shoot show reels, try to be on a project like that. And but it's most, I think, in a way, it's most successful with this thing because everybody wants to be a director and cameraman, but it's for film crews. We don't have enough film crews in Germany. It's like in a way you can move on. It's harder when you're an actor or a writer and so on, and therefore people who work as director's assistant got jobs after that. Normally they had a sort of curriculum vitae, then they were doing and they did voluntary work already, but said, okay, we want to do the real thing and learn more, and actually it worked out for them quite well.
Tell me a little bit about the community that surrounds this film, the people.
Yeah.
What's that like?
You mean the community of the actual film
the
team?
Film team, yes, yeah.
Young people who want to achieve something. That's quite nice. Or just people who say like, okay, I worked as a costume designer for the theater. I want to do film work, and actually, I think it's quite demanding because they want something from you that they can get jobs and so on. And but on the other hand, it's quite rewarding because it's like we have motivated people who want to do something for the art and for the profession.
How important is that to give people that opportunity and inspiration to move on and get a job within the industry?
Well, I think one important thing is that in the film industry, qualification is often measured by points in your CV. And what we want to provide is a movie, a feature film, as a point in your CV, where you, for example, have worked in a higher position than you used to, as I already said. So we try to provide a good point, a good new point in your CV.
Yeah.
So, what are your hopes for this film? What do you hope that this film will do? Let's say what do you hope that it will do for the audience?
I hope they will enjoy it and can relate to that. We had one first German festival, the Grenzland Filmtage Selb, and it worked out because they said, I felt reminded to the time when I was young, when I was about 20 and do something. And somebody like my daughter, who's about 18, says also like, I can relate to that because you want to do something different with your life. And when you have this one actor who never changes, he's always the same. He gets older in a way, but you feel reminded to the times when you really wanted the best with your love life and had problems to achieve that.
Yes.
And I think it's funny in a way, and it's tragic in a way too. There's a major plot twist. I don't want to give away.
Please don't.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. but it worked. But I had the impression with the first show it worked, and we'll see what's going to happen now. And it's always like you can relate to your love life, and sometimes it's better that you start laughing about it because looking back, you get the impression you might have done better.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, almost everybody has a dating history. There are not that many people that find their partner on the first date.
No.
And what we experienced from the audience, what we heard from the audience was often like something like, had that relationship, been there, felt that, and everybody has some connections to any of these dates.
Do you think there's something in cinema giving us some kind of reassurance of what's going on in our lives personally? Like you say, we've all had these ideas of how things should be, but then they work out completely different. Do you think cinema is giving us anything as a society to help us feel connected?
Yes, definitely. Even if it's like when you experience something like hard drama within a family or a love relationship, you can always relate, and you can always see how things might work. And therefore, we also in this case we try to keep it sort of keep his life on a general level. It's situated in a sort of city, but they don't speak accents. You have sort of special situations in your life everybody can relate to. It's shortly before your A-level, somebody dies. It's in a situation where you might want to marry somebody. It's in a situation where you might lose contact to your daughter. All these things normally everybody can relate to between 20 and 50, I think.
Yes.
And it's in film like that. I mean, it's sort of constellation of the cinema that sometimes something really goes wrong. I mean, and then you feel consoled in a way because you can relate to that. And also if the hero does it right, I mean, it's like, even if it's like Breaking Bad, with that's thing I did see recently. It's like, I think the end of the whole thing, when everything gets shredded, everybody dies, and then the main character gets asked by his wife, "Why did you do it?" And he starts telling something, and she says, "Don't say you did it for your family." And then he does the right thing, just says, "I did because I liked it." I liked doing the thing with Craig and shooting things, and therefore, but we can relate to that. Sometimes you do bad things, and sometimes you do questionable things, but that's the way life is. We try to do something, and maybe sometimes something drives us to do something else. And it's also in love relationships, it's the same. Do you know the film L'Auberge l'Espagnol?
I don't personally know.
No, because it's about a flat community in Barcelona with young people and so on, and they live together and they try to sort out everybody's love relationships and so on. And in a way, they are not very sympathetic, but the way they react together, it's great. It's great, and you can relate to that. You can understand. Oh my God, my boyfriend is coming. I have got somebody in my bed. What can we do? He's at the door. He came from England. Now I'm in Spain. My God, I've got this other man in my bed. And the others do help. Yeah, and and it's not because they're bad people, because she's betraying, but because it's life. She got to know this great, good-looking guy, and
within cinema we can find empathy, and you can, and like I said at the beginning of this, I think your film asks a lot of questions, and we have a lot of questions as human beings, don't we? So when we get that opportunity to see something else and other people playing out something, hopefully you might find some answers. I guess is the hope. Well, I know your film is about to start. So I really appreciate you both joining me for this conversation. If anyone's interested in seeing the film or finding out more, where do they go to? Is it online anywhere? Is it available for anyone to watch, or just on the festivals at the moment?
At the moment, it's on the festivals, but the last film was on Amazon Prime in England. They even published a DVD. I think if you want to watch this film, try to get to a channel like Amazon Prime at the end of the year.
Okay. Well, I'll link anything in the comments as it becomes available.
Yeah, right. Because it's really like it has got an English title, and you're going to find that.
And the institute that you're both part of. It sounds interesting. If anyone wants to find out more about the institute, where do they go?
www. Theater Werkmünchen. Oh my God, I don't know how to spell that.
Again, we'll link it in the comments. I think
get it linked in. I mean, it's really.
But
like
it does
that.
does sound really interesting, and it's really nice to hear that there is something like that out there, offering filmmakers opportunities like this, which is wonderful.
Yeah, and it's I think the nice bit about it is really like it addresses people who already have some experience, and that's special normally you're like young, going to film schools and so on, and this is something like if you have some experience and want more, then you might come to us.
Wonderful. Well, thanks again, guys. I appreciate you joining me, and if anyone was watching or listening, thank you for joining us as well. We appreciate you for joining us.
Thank you.
And good luck with the film.
Thank you.
Thank you,
very
guys.
much.